All right, so many of you out there I know are thinking about taking the leap and coming to the U.S. as nurses,
Absolutely.
which is so awesome.
Yeah.
But you're probably wondering, okay, what's the best way to get there?
Right.
So today, we're going to untangle two of the most popular options out there, specifically for nurses, and that's the green card, which is for permanent residency, and the F1 visa, which is a student visa.
Right.
And I got to tell you, there's way more to this than meets the eye.
Yes, absolutely.
We've got research, news articles, personal stories, and let me tell you, things get a little twisty.
Yes.
So buckle up.
What's particularly interesting is this concept called retrogression,
Oh, yeah.
which can really impact green card timelines.
Yeah.
We're talking potential delays of months or even years.
Oh, wow.
But it's not all doom and gloom, I promise.
Okay, good.
We're going to explore some really cool programs like the BridgeWay Scholarship, which is really shaking things up for those considering the F1 route.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so green card versus F1 for nurses. What are we really talking about?
Okay, let's start with the green card, which I know is like the holy grail for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It grants you permanent resident status, allows you to live and work indefinitely in the U.S., and provides a pathway to citizenship. So really, it's about putting down roots,
Yeah.
building a life here without having to think about visa renewals.
Right.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So what are some of the, I guess, perks beyond just living and working here?
Well, I mean, for starters, there's job stability.
Yeah.
You're not tied to a specific employer.
Right.
You can explore different specialties. You
Yeah.
can hop between hospitals, different states.
That's huge.
You don't have visa restrictions.
Wow.
Plus, it comes with family benefits. So your spouse, your children under 21, they can also get green cards.
Oh, wow.
So you're bringing the whole crew.
That is a huge plus, especially for those with families.
Huge plus.
Yeah. So let's talk about this retrogression thing. Yes. That we touched on earlier.
Right.
Is that really a major roadblock?
It can be. It basically means there's a backlog of green card applications,
Ah,
which can lead to significant processing delays.
okay.
It really is a waiting game, and sometimes it stretches out years.
Wow.
So that can be a bit of a downside, especially if you're, eager to get started on your U.S. journey as soon as possible.
Yeah, I bet. So patience is key with the green card route.
Yeah.
What other, I guess, downsides should we be keeping in mind?
Yes, the upfront costs,
Okay.
they can be a bit of a hurdle.
Right.
You're looking at application fees, legal fees, maybe even relocation expenses.
Wow.
So it is a considerable investment up front.
Yeah.
And in many cases, you actually need a hospital or healthcare facility to sponsor your green card application.
Oh, okay.
So finding an employer who is willing to vouch for you is crucial.
Gotcha. So while the green card offers long-term stability and a clear pathway to citizenship, it's not a quick fix.
Right.
Requires a lot of upfront planning.
Yes.
Okay, now let's shift gears and talk about the F1 visa. What is that all about?
So the F1 is specifically for students
Okay.
who are pursuing higher education in the U.S.
Gotcha.
And here's where it gets interesting for nurses.
Okay.
It opens up a world of opportunities for career advancement through specialization.
Okay.
So think master's or doctorate degrees in nursing,
Yeah.
unlocking roles like nurse practitioner, clinical nurse specialist,
Oh, wow.
or even, leadership positions in education or research.
That's awesome.
That's a big one.
So it's really about leveling up your skills and potentially landing some pretty sought-after roles.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the key advantages here?
Well, firstly, you're gaining specialized skills that are highly valued in the U.S. healthcare system.
Okay.
And secondly, the F1 processing time is generally faster than a green card.
Oh, real.
So if you're looking for a quicker entry into the U.S., the F1 might be a bit more attractive.
Interesting. So faster entry, specialized skills.
Yes.
That's appealing. But I'm guessing there are some catches.
There are some catches, of course.
Okay, lay them on me.
The F1 is a temporary visa.
Okay.
So it has a set duration tied to your study program.
Right.
If you want to stay in the U.S. long term, you'll need to transition to another visa, like the H-1B, which often requires employer sponsorship, or ultimately aim for a green card down the line.
Okay. So it's a temporary solution with the hope of a more permanent one later on.
Yes, absolutely.
Got it. What about the financial side of things? Is it expensive?
It depends.
Okay.
The cost of education in the U.S. can be high, especially for advanced degrees.
Right.
However, there are programs like the BridgeWay Scholarship, which are absolute game changers.
Okay.
So this particular scholarship covers 3 years of tuition.
Wow.
Eliminates that financial burden for your entire master's program.
3 years. That's incredible. Tell me more about BridgeWay. What's the catch?
So what's fascinating about BridgeWay is they've combined the scholarship with this earn while you learn model.
Oh.
They offer paid internship opportunities for their students.
Really?
And you can gain hands-on experience while earning a salary comparable to full-time nurses.
It's amazing.
So you could be working as a certified nursing assistant or after you've passed the NCLEX exam as a registered nurse.
Wow.
You're essentially kickstarting your career while you're studying.
So with BridgeWay, you're not just getting a free education, you're also gaining valuable experience and earning a decent income.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing. Are there other programs out there like BridgeWay?
You know, BridgeWay is definitely a standout, but there are other scholarship opportunities and programs specifically for international nurses. The key is to do your research and explore all the options.
Right, explore those options. So we've got the green card, which is permanent residency, but with potential delays, and the F1 visa, which is faster entry and specialization opportunities, but temporary status. How do these two stack up against each other, specifically for nurses?
That's where it gets really interesting. Let's unpack some key considerations that are particularly relevant for nurses like you.
Good.
Looking to build a successful career in the U.S., we need to consider career paths, specialization options, and the unique challenges international nurses face in the U.S. job market.
Okay, all right, let's dig into those nuances. What are some career paths we should be aware of?
Well, for nurses, a U.S. master's degree can unlock these highly specialized roles that are in such high demand.
Okay.
We're talking nurse anesthetists, nurse midwives, nurse practitioners.
Wow, yeah.
These are advanced practice roles.
Right.
With, significant earning potential.
Yeah.
And a high level of autonomy in patient care.
That's amazing.
So many hospitals actually prefer to sponsor nurses with a master's degree for green cards.
Oh, wow.
Which kind of makes the F1 path a really smart option to boost your career prospects and secure that sponsorship later on.
So strategically, it's almost like the F1 sets you up for success in the green card game down the line.
Exactly. It's all about playing the long game.
Right.
And remember those specialized roles we mentioned?
Yeah.
They often come with higher salaries.
Oh, yeah.
So investing in your education through the F1 route can really lead to a significant return on investment.
Interesting. But wouldn't the F1 visa holder be at a disadvantage when applying for those high-level jobs if they don't have permanent residency? I mean, wouldn't hospitals prefer to just hire someone who already has a green card and doesn't need sponsorship?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's a valid concern.
Right.
While some employers might prioritize green card holders, many are actually open to sponsoring highly skilled nurses.
Okay.
Especially those with specialized certifications and U.S. work experience.
Right.
And that's where the F1 with programs like BridgeWay really shines.
Yeah.
By the time you graduate, you have a U.S. degree. You potentially have U.S. work experience from those paid internships.
Right.
And you're a much more attractive candidate for sponsorship.
So it's about building up your profile and making yourself a valuable asset.
Right.
It's not just about the visa status. It's about the whole package.
Exactly. And let's not forget the networking opportunities.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
That come with studying in the U.S. I mean,
Yeah.
you're surrounded by fellow nurses,
Right.
professors, healthcare professionals, who can become valuable connections, potential mentors.
Yeah.
Building those relationships can really open doors to job opportunities and even sponsorship recommendations.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not just what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's shift our focus back to the green card for a moment.
Okay.
You mentioned different categories for nurses.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So there are two main employment-based categories for green cards that are relevant for nurses.
Okay.
We have EB2 and EB3.
Gotcha.
EB2 is for professionals with advanced degrees or exceptional ability, while EB3 is more for skilled workers with at least a bachelor's degree or 2 years of experience.
Okay, so which one applies to nurses?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
If you have a master's degree in nursing, you would typically fall under EB2.
Okay.
But even with a bachelor's degree, you might qualify for EB2 if you can demonstrate exceptional ability
Interesting.
through your skills, experience, or achievements.
Okay, so there's some flexibility there.
Yeah.
But is one category better than the other?
So EB2 generally has a shorter processing time than EB3,
Oh, okay.
but here's the catch.
Oh.
The availability of visa numbers within each category
Okay.
is subject to annual limits and country quotas.
Oh,
And that's where retrogression comes in again.
okay.
If there are more applicants than available visas
Right.
in a specific category for your particular country,
Mm-hmm.
you might experience delays even if you meet all the qualifications.
Oh, man. So it's like a numbers game almost.
Yeah, it is a bit of a numbers game.
Yeah. Okay. And it sounds like retrogression is something that affects both green card categories.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
But don't let that discourage you.
Right.
Understanding these nuances can help you strategize better.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're from a country with a long retrogression backlog in the EB3 category, pursuing a master's degree and aiming for EB2 might actually be a strategic move
Okay.
to potentially shorten your waiting time.
So it's about being informed and making calculated decisions.
Exactly.
Okay. I think it's time we revisit the F1 visa
Right.
and delve a little deeper into those work limitations you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
We know it's temporary,
Right.
but what exactly are the restrictions?
Okay, so with the F1, you're primarily allowed to work on campus
Okay.
for up to 20 hours per week
Okay.
while school is in session.
Gotcha.
This could include, jobs at the university, library, research labs, maybe even some administrative roles within the nursing department.
Yeah.
It's a way to earn some extra income while immersing yourself in the campus environment.
So it's not full-time nursing work, but it's something.
Yeah.
Are there any other work options for F1 students?
Yes, there are a couple of key programs
Okay.
that can really open up more opportunities.
Lay them on me.
First, we have Curricular Practical Training, or CPT.
Okay.
This allows you to do paid internships related to your studies while you're still enrolled in your program.
Oh, okay.
The internship has to be an integral part of your curriculum
Right.
and requires authorization from your university.
Gotcha.
It's a fantastic way to gain that practical experience in a real healthcare setting
Right.
and potentially earn a decent income.
So CBT is like a formal internship program integrated into your study.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sure.
What's the other program you mentioned?
The other program is Optional Practical Training, or OPT.
Okay.
This allows you to work in your field of study for up to 12 months after you graduate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So after you've completed your master's in nursing, you can apply for OPT
Yeah.
and gain that real-world work experience as a registered nurse in a U.S. hospital.
So CPT is during your studies. OPT is after graduation. It's like a structured pathway to transition from student to professional.
Exactly.
But what happens after that 12 months of OPT? Do you have to leave the U.S.?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
If you're on OPT and you find an employer who's willing to sponsor you for an H-1B visa, you can extend your stay
Okay.
and continue working in the U.S.
Okay.
So the H-1B is a temporary work visa for skilled professionals, and it's a very common route for nurses who want to pursue a green card eventually.
Gotcha. So it's like a chain reaction, CPT to OPT to H-1B,
Yeah.
with the ultimate goal of a green card.
Exactly.
It's a lot to navigate, but it sounds like a pretty well-defined pathway.
Yes, is.
I know we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
It's probably swirling around in our listeners' heads.
Right.
I think to make things crystal clear, it's time for a side-by-side comparison.
Yes.
Let's break down those key factors
Okay.
and see how the green card stacks up against the F1 visa, especially with that BridgeWay scholarship in the mix.
Great idea.
Okay, so let's start with the timeline.
Okay.
We know retrogression can cause significant delays with the green card.
Right.
So how does that compare to the F1 visa process?
Well, the F1 visa processing time is generally much faster than the green card.
Okay.
You could be in the U.S. and starting your studies within, a matter of months.
Oh, wow.
Whereas the green card, with retrogression factored in, could take years.
Oh, man.
So if speed is a priority, the F1 definitely takes the lead.
Okay, so faster entry point for the F1.
Yes.
Got it. Now, what about work opportunities?
So the green card offers unrestricted work authorization.
Okay.
You can work for any employer, any state, change jobs as you please.
Yeah.
You have complete flexibility.
Yeah.
The F1, as we discussed, comes with limitations,
Right.
primarily focused on studies. You have limited work options through on-campus employment, CPT, or OPT.
Right.
So it's a trade-off.
Right.
You make for the opportunity to gain those specialized skills and potentially faster entry into the U.S.
Okay, so green card equals work flexibility. F1 equals work limitations,
Yeah.
but with those strategic opportunities.
Exactly.
Got it. What about career growth and specialization?
This is where the F1 can really shine.
Okay.
By pursuing a master's or doctorate in nursing, you're opening doors to those high-demand specialized roles we talked about earlier.
Right.
This specialization can significantly enhance your career prospects, increase your earning potential, make you a more attractive candidate for sponsorship down the line.
So the F1 is a strategic investment in your future career.
It is.
What about the financial implications?
So the green card comes with those higher upfront costs.
Okay.
Those application fees, legal fees, potential relocation expenses we discussed.
Right, yeah.
The F1 can be expensive too,
Yeah.
especially for a U.S. education. But programs like BridgeWay, with their full tuition coverage and paid internships, really change the game.
Yeah, it's huge.
You're essentially eliminating the financial burden of education and even earning an income while you study.
So BridgeWay essentially makes the F1 financially viable, if not advantageous.
Absolutely.
What about family considerations?
So, with the green card, your dependents, your spouse, your children under 21 can also obtain green cards.
Okay.
And enjoy the same benefits.
Right.
They can live, work, and study in the U.S. without restrictions.
Yeah.
Now, the F1 allows you to bring your dependents on F2 visas.
Okay.
However, F2 visa holders have very limited work authorization
Okay.
and cannot be the primary breadwinners.
Okay.
So if bringing your family along is a priority, the green card offers more flexibility and benefits.
Okay, so green card equals family benefits, F1 equals limited family
Yeah.
benefits.
Exactly.
Makes sense. And lastly, what about the path to citizenship?
So the green card provides a direct path to U.S. citizenship. After meeting certain residency requirements, you can apply for naturalization,
Right.
become a U.S. citizen.
Yep.
The F1 does not offer a direct path to citizenship.
Okay.
You would need to transition to another visa category, typically the H-1B,
Right.
and then potentially apply for a green card through employment sponsorship
Right.
or other eligible categories.
Got it. So green card equals straightforward path to citizenship. F1 equals a more complex and potentially longer path.
Exactly.
That's it.
So it's important to understand these key differences and weigh them against your individual goals, priorities, and timelines.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Yeah.
The best choice really depends on your unique circumstances.
Absolutely. This deep dive is all about empowering you to make informed decisions.
Yes.
We've laid out the options, the pros, the cons, the nuances. Now it's about taking that information and applying it to your own situation.
Exactly.
So as we move towards wrapping up this episode, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, love it.
It's something to ponder,
Right.
maybe discuss with your family,
Mm-hmm.
or even jot down in a journal.
A little brain teaser to send our listener off on the right foot.
Okay, here it is. Knowing everything we've discussed about the green card and the F1 visa,
Yes.
and considering your own personal aspirations and circumstances, how do you envision navigating this journey? What path resonates most strongly with you right now? What additional questions are popping up in your mind? I know it's a lot
Yeah.
to process.
It is.
But remember, you don't have to figure it all out like right this second.
Right.
The beauty of this whole journey is that you get to chart your own course.
Exactly. And what I think is so fascinating here is that we often get so caught up in this idea of choosing one path or the other,
Right.
green card or F1.
Right.
But what if we challenge that a little bit?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
What if we consider, instead of separate paths, the possibility of leveraging the strengths of both to create a personalized strategy?
Okay, so instead of green card versus F1, it's green card and the F1
Exactly.
working together in harmony.
Think about it. You could strategically start with the F1 route,
Okay.
take advantage of programs like BridgeWay,
Right.
gain those specialized skills, get that valuable U.S. work experience through those paid internships.
Right.
And while you're doing all that, start exploring the green card process.
Okay.
You could be networking,
Right.
connecting with potential employers who might be willing to sponsor you, and gathering all the necessary documentation.
So it's like a two-pronged approach. You're advancing your career.
Yes.
You're building your network.
Absolutely.
And setting yourself up for success in the long run.
Yeah,
Whether it's through an H-1B or ultimately a green card.
exactly. It's about being proactive, strategic,
Yeah.
leveraging the strengths of each pathway to create that personalized roadmap that aligns with your long-term goals. It's really about taking ownership of your journey
Yeah.
and recognizing that you have options.
Right. Exactly. And remember, There are resources out there to guide you.
Yes.
Organizations like BridgeWay.
Absolutely.
Immigration attorneys can provide expert advice.
Yes.
There's tons of information online.
Absolutely. Tons of resources.
So don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Ask all the questions.
And connect with others who have, been there, done that. You are not alone in this journey.
Not at all.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
The U.S. healthcare system needs you.
Yes.
It needs skilled, passionate nurses.
Absolutely.
Like you.
Yes.
Your talent, your dedication, your unique perspective, they are valuable assets.
They're so valuable.
So don't let the complexities of the immigration system deter you
Right.
from pursuing your dreams
Yeah.
with the right information.
Yes.
A strategic approach
Yeah.
and a little perseverance.
Yes.
You can absolutely make your mark in the U.S. nursing profession.
You absolutely can. So to our listener out there, keep dreaming big.
Yes.
Keep exploring your options. And
Yeah.
most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
Your future is bright.
So bright.
And we're so excited to see what you achieve.
Okay, that is a wrap
Yes.
on this deep dive into the green card versus F1 visa.
For international nurses.
We hope this was helpful,
Yes.
empowering,
Absolutely.
and most importantly, maybe even a little bit fun.
Yes, a little bit of fun.
Remember, knowledge is power.
It is.
And now you are armed
Yes.
with the insight
the insights you need.
you need to navigate this journey with confidence.
With confidence. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Yes, we will.
Until then, happy exploring.
Yes.
And best of luck on your incredible adventure.
All right. Bye, everyone.